Yeah, you're down to 55%. You're down to 55%. We're gonna run out of power if we don't have power.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Just so everyone knows, we're testing out Arthur's computer so that he's ready to go when he starts his presidency in July. So, and I'm getting lots of feedback here.
So here's my little jobby here.
So I'll take that. So you plug it into here.
Sorry, Stephen, we'll have to
Okay.
continue the conversation.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, we're gonna start. And we didn't bring the bell up. I apologize today. I'm trying to work out the feedback here. Anyway, we're gonna get started. We're good here. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to our June 5th in-person Rotary meeting. This is a tag team for Arthur, and as I said, it's his test go on the technology for the meetings. So I'd like to welcome, we have 22 people in the room today. We actually have 2 guests here today. We have from, what club is it? Is it Turkey? Okay, it is Ismet Eskin Zorlu, who is here for Jackie had a Zoom call, so welcome. And we also have Sarah Robinson from Toronto Cares, who's going to be our speaker today. Sorry about the feedback. I can't on the. Okay. See if you guys can hear me. We'll have a. Do you speak loud?
Yeah.
You speak loud? Okay, good. You speak loud, then we're all good. Okay, with that, how do we welcome our guests? Sorry. I'd like to call upon. Are you doing it? Because Mike's not here. Or is Mike here? I'll tell you right now. Mike is not here.
Okay.
So I'm asking Chad to do the reflection for today.
Okay. You're going to hear a lot of me today, so pretend I'm Mike at least for now.
Come over here, Chad. Just watch some trip.
So this is Mike's reflection. They say that we should look for the positive things in life, but sometimes it feels that they are hiding with the lost socks in the laundry. But seriously, life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes the downs can feel like they've overstayed their welcome. On those days when you need to shake it off and feeling that something's not right, remember these 2 things. First, laughter is the best medicine, and it's a lot cheaper than therapy. And second, every mishap makes for a great story later. So keep smiling, keep laughing, always look for that silver lining, because at the end of the day, life's too short to take it seriously. And besides, no one gets out alive anyways.
Well done, Mike. Nicely done. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on to Happy Bucks. I think Chad, you're.
Yeah, I'm right in there.
Okay. Anyone have any Happy Bucks in the room today? Well, we'll go with Anna first. She put her hand up first.
Okay.
Speak real loud.
I want to thank everybody who was on the flyer committee. This is what it turned out like. And for 2 days, it was constant emails. Some people sat back and watched, and they just couldn't believe how everybody was involved. And I want to thank the best people in the world, because this international committee is fantastic. And Bill, thank you very much. You and David stuck it out right to the end, and you're a really good writer. So I have $20 to thank the group, and I do have something else to say. This little girl who I mentioned lost both limbs. I guess her picture went viral, and a gentleman from the US flew her and her mother to San Diego. And not only did she get 2 new limbs, and the mother too, I guess, although the story was about her, she ran 5K in the Boston Marathon. And she's back in Ukraine now doing further rehab. But that's a really nice story, and she met movie stars. It showed this on the clip, a YouTube clip. Write to me if you want me to send it to you. It's quite cute. So it changed her life, and like the others in this amazing resilience movement, she remained unbroken and very resilient. So thanks. This is, if you would like a copy, there it is.
How'd the assembly go?
Say that again.
How'd the assembly go?
Oh,
On Saturday?
okay. Oh, this?
Yeah.
I spoke, but it was brief, very brief. And I didn't put these out on tables like other people did. But they're like Tibet, there's a thing celebrating their first year. Because it's not a fait accompli.
Right.
This may not fly. I wanted to speak first. And I told them we are applying for a grant. Don't know where it's gonna go, but you know, we hope. So I'm holding back a little bit, and tomorrow I'm going to an event to hear the Nobel Peace Prize winner from Ukraine, but I am not allowed to distribute these, as it turns out. Ron Denham's on the case.
He's got a couple contacts through Wash Rag that he's gonna see if he can connect us with.
But it's a twofold process though, because, you know, and I don't know for sure if we're going to get the two guys who are from Canada, and they wrote the software with U of T and Sunnybrook and all of this. It's a really Canada-made project. I mean, Calgary Rotary, who did this in Sri Lanka, got special dispensation because these guys are the only show in town. I read a story from CNN, a Ukrainian soldier who lost his limbs went to Germany to be fitted. Well, that's what they do now. They either have to fly them out of the country. This is going to be made in Ukraine with a Canadian product. So I'm hoping that the Rotary approves that, and you know that Lars, who is, I told him I'll do everything by the book, okay? But really, when this is the only people that are doing it, limited. And Calgary wrote to Lars saying, you know, we got special dispensation. So it's out there, and we'll see where.
Well, the precedent's been set now, so we're kind of in a better position because they've already used them once. We'll use them somewhere else, right? That's the hope.
Yeah. So who's collecting?
Lisa gets to collect, or Chow will take it on behalf of Lisa, and then he'll give it to Lisa. Jackie, you're next.
Okay. Mine's a little lighter. Folks, for the next 2 weeks, I am an Albertan. Go Oilers.
Bring that cup home. 31 years.
Anyone else?
Ray?
Tomorrow, my wife and I will have been married for 60 years. I've been told.
Oh, wow.
You've been told. Congratulations. Is there anybody on Zoom who has any happy bucks? Okay, we'll end with Arthur. You have happy, you had your hand up, yes?
Oh, I'll get some happy bucks. Thanks
Okay.
for your training today. Looking forward to July the 1st, and I'll give an IOU of $20.
Okay.
Why are you happy, Arthur?
Oh, you got something?
Sorry?
Why are you happy?
Why are you not July the 1st?
Well, I'm happy that I get the El Presidente
A month away.
on the way. Where's Anna?
I'll give Anna's right there.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
I'm gonna give my happy bucks when I hit July 1st.
I thought that was a happy dance.
Happy dance, whatever you want to call it.
Now, just as we're sitting here, I just want to make another comment.
Sure.
Where are the multitude of women today?
Sorry?
Where are the multitude?
The multitude of women are over here. And we've got men there, we got men there. We've got a shock of the deck. How do you feel about
Lisa's
that?
over here. Sarah's over here.
No, I know, we've got a couple of women there,
Okay.
but the majority of them are over here.
We were having a meeting.
There you go.
We were having a secret.
Well, I, you know, first of all, I had Don Knotson beside me.
That's Tom.
Tom.
Knox is the funny guy.
You're pretty funny too, Tom. Come on.
So finally, I moved over to next to Stephen, and I said, I'm gonna move next to you, don't leave.
Steven, you have happy bucks.
Yeah, well, who's collecting?
Me.
Chad and Lisa tag teaming.
I'd just like to remind everybody,
It's good for me to get up.
next Thursday afternoon, Project Give Back, we support the school at Regal Road Public School, which is just south of Davenport, or just
north of Davenport.
Off Dublin. And at 2:30 on Thursday afternoon, they're having their annual end of season presentation. So,
I'm going, I'm coming.
yeah, David's going, I'm going. Tom's going, and if anybody else wants to go, please let me know so that I can let them know who's coming. Thank you.
It's really impressive to watch. It's the same thing as we did last year or 2 years ago, right? It's really impressive to see these kids present their ideas to us that they've worked on the whole year, and you get to ask them questions, and they're really passionate about it. It was really a lot of fun. Did you go the last time I was? No, you didn't go? It was a lot of fun. It was really good. Okay, and with that, gonna call upon my other partner here, or threesome between Arthur and Chad and I. Chad didn't get assigned all these, just people at the last minute said they couldn't make it. You're assigned, yeah, you're assigned to this one. I'm gonna have you come up and formally introduce Sarah as our speaker. And let me just take this and make this speaker here.
So I have the honor of introducing Sarah Robinson. Sarah is a single mother on ODSP who got assistance during the first COVID lockdown and decided from that help that she really wanted to pay it forward to others. From that one kind gesture, the idea of Toronto Cares Initiative, a registered Canadian charity supporting people with disabilities, including mental health challenges and seniors and the homeless. Toronto Cares in the Community. Sarah's presentation will include a brief overview of the organization today, its partners, and some opportunities going forward.
Hey guys, I'm actually glad we don't have the microphone because I tend to pace, so it works better for me. David or Arthur, how do I get back to the presentation screen?
Yeah. Come on up, Arthur. You gotta learn. Come on.
There we go. We're gonna lose Stephen Stein.
I'm getting my exercise.
Yeah, you're gonna lose inside. So what you want to do is you want to share your screen. You've opened their website, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to share your screen, and they've changed that. Share. There it is, right there. Screen. Start broadcast. Okay, and then you flick up this. And it's on. We do it on Chrome.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you take it from there?
I think so.
Oh, there it is.
It's all yours.
Perfect.
Not many people call them that, but that's very nice of you.
There we go. Is this sharing to the Zoom people as well? Okay, perfect. Hi guys. So my name's Sarah Robinson. I run Toronto Cares Initiative. I guess I have to touch this way. As Chad introduced me, I am a single mom on ODSP. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's the Ontario Disability Support Program, basically the disability version of Ontario Works. I had a spinal injury a few years ago that made it so that I couldn't sit for long periods of time and made working difficult until I found this. I got some help during the first lockdown. I had taken out $1,000 payday loan to try and get in on the grocery shop buying that was happening, and then realized I didn't know how to pay that back on a fixed income. So I had reached out to a woman on Facebook who was supporting single moms or helping single moms, and she connected me to two ladies who I have never met, but sent me $200. They just have my email address, and all of a sudden this money was in my account within half an hour. And I knew I had to find a way to pay this forward. I've been in Girl Guides most of my life, and did a lot of fundraising and giving back through that, as well as when I ran an event company, I did a lot of community service that way. So I just made a Facebook post that simply said, if you want to help or if you need help, send me a message and I'll connect you, the same way she had connected me to these other ladies. 200 email transfers in the first week, 400 by the second week, connecting donors to clients who needed help. And then I started to see some of the same people coming back again, because a lot of the time when you're on a fixed income, money goes into your account and it comes out for a bill before you've had the chance to buy groceries. So we decided to switch to grocery boxes. And when I say we, I have no idea how we got the first volunteers. I don't remember how it started. It was just a Facebook post. And then all these people started messaging me, asking me if they could help. So we were doing between 150 and 300 grocery boxes every week throughout 2020, delivering to people with immunocompromisations and disabilities, single parents that weren't able to make it to a food bank. Then as of April 30th, just before the first grocery box delivery, we became an official incorporated nonprofit. We did the grocery box deliveries, and then when that money ran out at the end of 2020, we switched to doing holiday events. So we do gifts for kids for Christmas. We just started this year doing gifts for seniors for Christmas. We do Easter, Christmas, and back to school. And so we started doing those events and then rebuilding the programs as money started coming back in. So now we also do meals for the homeless and clothing drives. And we have a couple other programs we're about to restart. So now, as of last May, we became an official registered charity, which is very exciting. I guess 4 years, or it was 3 years at the time, is rather quick to get your charity status. And we did the application ourselves. So we don't pay anybody to do anything for the organization. I figure it out. I don't know how I figure it out, but I do. So some of our events, we do the homeless meals with toiletries and clothing. Monthly, we do a clothing and more drive. The produce market, we are ready to restart as soon as we find a new location close enough to where all the seniors are that we're supporting. Easter, back to school, and Christmas. So in the last year, so last year for Easter, we did 250 kids for Easter gifts, because we find that Toronto Cares is about not only supporting your physical body, but also your mentality and your spirit. And we find that there's a lot of families who just can't afford to do things like Easter gifts. So we did 250 kids last year. We also did 150 wellness kits that we got donated to people with disabilities and seniors. This year we did 400 Christmas gifts or Easter gifts. Last year we did 650 backpacks fully loaded with all of the supplies to families with disabilities. We did 1,000 kids for Christmas. It was supposed to be 600. The year before was 500. So I was like, okay, we can do like 600 kids for Christmas. I have a really bad problem of not being able to say no to people. So we were giving gifts right up until Christmas Eve. And then we also did our seniors program for the first time this year, that we did 120 seniors transitioning from shelters. So they request a gift under $40 and we put it up on the website and people sign up to buy them and drop them off to us. We've also done computers and cell phones for some of those seniors who are transferring from shelters because they don't have any technology when they're coming from the shelter system. Last year we rescued about 21,000 pounds of items from going to the landfill through our clothing and household item drive. We served about 2,100 meals to the homeless. We do about 200 a month, sometimes more. And then we did about 1,300 pounds of clothes that we gave out to the homeless. So we do seasonal appropriate clothing for them as well. Yesterday, I actually went out to drop off sleeping bags and air mattresses and camp chairs to a couple that is living on the streets right now. So our food bank and produce market that we lost our space because they started a kids program through the city, and it was a community center, so the city gets priority. So we're looking for a new space, which has been really hard near Eglinton and Dufferin, because that's where all of the seniors buildings are that we've been serving. But we've done about 3,200 pounds of produce. That was over 3 months. As well as about 1,300 pounds of bread. So we get bread donated from Cobb's Bakery that we give out to them as well. We have 4 clients that have been hired to do, well, myself being one of them, and 3 others that are doing data entry for us through this federal grant. And we also have 3 refugees families that we've been supporting. We have a family that are Hungarian refugees because they are Roma and they get persecuted in their country. When I met them, they had come to a homeless meal, and the 13-year-old boy was wearing shorts and flip-flops on December 10th because that's all they had. So we kind of adopted them a little bit. Now it's a family of 7, mom, dad, and 5 kids. They're all in school now. Mom and dad, we've helped start a cleaning business that they're cleaning houses every day. And it's been just beautiful to see. So this is some of our volunteer team. We are probably one of the easiest organizations to volunteer with in the city. I really wanted it to be as simple as possible. I know a lot of organizations, you have interviews and resumes, and I didn't want to deal with any of that. If you want to help, we want you to be able to help. So they just register on our website as a volunteer, and then they get emails, and they can register on the emails for any of the upcoming events to come. We get a lot of students trying to get their high school hours, and a lot of them stay after they've done their high school hours, which is really nice to see. We always need delivery drivers. Driving is getting harder as gas prices rise. But we also have on-site volunteering. We have people who volunteer from home with their families, making meals for our homeless meal because everything is home cooked. We have remote committees that do things like fundraising and grant writing, and then our advisory council. So the way our system's kind of set up is that we have 3 people on the official board of directors on the government site, and then we have 7 members who are on the advisory council that vote to advise the board the direction of their votes. So we internally just call them all the board of directors, but it just makes the paperwork a little easier. There's some more of our volunteers. Some of our current partnerships. So we just got partnered a few months ago with City Recycling. You know, the bins you get, you can see on the side of the streets that you can donate to. Well, they have them in condo buildings in the recycling rooms, and we are now their official charity partner. So we are going to be on all the boxes, and a percentage of the proceeds will be helping fund us. Then they also bring us items that they find in the boxes. So they bring us sleeping bags, they bring us men's clothing, winter jackets, any of the things that we need for our homeless events, they will pull out of the bins and give them to us. They usually are bringing us like at least 6 or 7 sleeping bags a month, just from collecting them in the bins. Maison Canada gave us $4,500 towards our produce market, so that helps pay for some of the free produce that the clients get. We also were really fortunate last year. The Randy Starkman Foundation almost entirely funded our back to school drive last year. And then we got featured in the Good to Give Guide by Toronto Foundation. So they feature approximately 6 to 10 organizations that are small organizations within the city that they feel people should give to. So we got put in there Good to Give Guide this year, which was really, really nice, and ended up getting a few grants or donations from foundations. This is just some of our partners. I'm not going to read them all, but some of them are BIAs, some of them are schools. We work with corporations. We work with a number of different companies that help donate different items to us. And then we also have a much more extensive list than this of shelters and services that we donate items to help them with their clients. I will send this to you after, David, so you guys can go through the presentation as well afterwards if you want. Just a couple of testimonials that we have gotten. We have just uploaded on the website about 50 client testimonials as well as volunteer testimonials that we've collected over the last couple of years. So it's really nice to see how much of an impact we are making with these families. So the hard thing for us when it comes to the future is that when I get an idea, I kind of run with it. So 3 weeks before Christmas last year, I decided that I wanted to do a produce market. Because I was going to the food banks for some of the seniors, and they weren't getting any produce, they weren't getting any fresh bread. It was all kind of random non-perishables like Jell-O. So within a week, we were up and running. I had found the location, got the license to purchase from the Ontario Food Terminal, and we were running in a week. It was probably the worst time to start it because it was 2 weeks before Christmas, and it was our biggest Christmas ever. I may have had a slight breakdown the night before, and the president had to talk me down a little bit, but they needed it, and I couldn't not do something if I had the ability to. So of course we want to do more meals and more gifts each year going forward. We've also applied for an $800,000 grant through the federal government, which is what all of our employees are being paid through a smaller grant that we receive from the federal government. This new one would fund us for 3 years. So that's really nice because it's to focus on learning why people with disabilities, seniors, and the homeless have a difficult time re-entering the workforce, and why it is not those demographics are not really included in people's EDI policies around equity, diversity, and inclusion. So we want to do a research project that will then turn into presentations and teach other organizations how to be more equitable in their hiring processes. So we work with a lot of organizations. I'm probably more of a networker than anything else. I actually used to run networking events through Meetup. I was the largest Meetup organizer in the city for about 10 years. So I'm really good at networking, and I do a lot of it. I try to connect as many people to each other as I can because there are so many organizations that are struggling because they're just not sure what to do in any one area. And if we could just talk to each other, we would be able to find new ways to do things and make it a little easier on each other. Like today, I was talking to one of the ladies who is having their house cleaned by the Hungarian family. She ended up mentioning to me when I was talking to her about the charity that she works for a fundraising company and does it for a living and is now going to be one of our volunteers running our fundraising. So you never know who you're going to meet as long as you're always having that kind of connection mentality. I mention the charity everywhere I go. I met a Lyft driver who is now one of our lawyers. because I had told him that I was running a charity. And he's like, really? I want to be a part of that. I actually help charities with their legal issues. And now he is one of our lawyers. So when you feel passionate about something, I think it's really important to mention it everywhere you go. Find a way to fit it in the conversation. For you guys, it's probably Rotary, right? Find a way to stick it into every conversation that you have. And it can be the greatest way to bring on new supporters. And because you never know who might be interested if you don't mention it. So we are looking at doing a Rotary District grant. It'll have to obviously be next year because Toronto West, the person who was working on the grant for this year, ended up getting sick. And he was sick for 3 weeks right before the grant was due, and it didn't end up getting finished. So we want to do the grocery box delivery program again. I probably get 5 or 6 calls a week, and we haven't ran that program in 3 years. And I still have multiple people a week asking us for the program again, because there's just nothing like it in the city. We deliver citywide to people with disabilities, seniors, and people in shelters who need support with food. One of the biggest things that makes us different is that we buy everything same day. So there is nothing expired, nothing past the best before date like you get at 90% of the food banks. The clients pay $15 to make sure that they're invested, and then they get about $75 worth of food. We buy all the food from the Ontario Food Terminal, or all the produce. We get the bread donated from Cobb's same day. We buy all of the non-perishables that morning and distribute that afternoon. So I know a lot of families that are also, especially refugee families, are not comfortable going to a food bank because it's free. And they're not comfortable taking something for free. But when they pay a small fee, it helps them feel like they're getting a deal rather than getting a handout. So we are working on doing the Rotary District grant for next year. We also have all of I think this is the 6th club that I've spoken at in the last 2 months. And all of them have agreed to be on board so far to either do a fundraising event or to add us to their OLG list. So we would like to still try and start this program in the next 6 months, hopefully with the help of several clubs across the city, doing fundraisers or doing donations so that we can still get that amount. Yes, it sucks that, we don't have the district grant to double it, but I can't wait another year and a half to start feeding people. So we'll do what we can as quickly as we can. Some of the ways that we help other people who partner with us. So we can help people with their advertising. Like there has been some of the clubs that didn't realize if you're doing an event in a specific area, join all the Facebook groups in that area. If it's close to not necessarily where you are normally doing them, join the Facebook groups. Advertise in all those Facebook groups, get it out there. Like there are always ways of advertising that don't cost money. We can teach some of the web-based skills as well as helping attain free services. So things like, are you guys a charity? Or you've got, no, but are you a do you have charity status?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of services that charities can get for free. Things like Microsoft Teams. We just got Salesforce nonprofit platform is free. If you're a charity, Canva is free. If you're a charity, there's a number of services that are really accessible for charities. We can also help educate on local issues. We collect information every time we do events. So we get the feedback directly from our clients on what they need. Connecting you to other organizations or connecting organizations that you're working with to other people. So if you've got a charity or a nonprofit or a program that you're helping sponsor with your club and they need help with something, we probably know someone who can help them. We can help with donating our time and skills. So if you guys need volunteers for an event, we have probably 1,600 people on our volunteer list right now. At least half of them are active. So we always have, especially students that are willing to come out and help volunteer at events, to help provide donations. So if you're working with an organization that say needs backpacks for their clients, we can connect to them and help them with that. Doing presentations, and then also providing volunteer opportunities for if you guys want to come out and volunteer with us, you are more than welcome to come do that as well. I think that's the last one. Yeah.
Any questions for Sarah?
Excuse me.
I mean, you do an incredible amount of work when you put together the food boxes. How many people do you have doing that?
So when we do the grocery boxes, I do all the buying, usually with a couple volunteers that drive. And then on site, we usually have about 20 volunteers packaging the boxes, sorting the produce. 150 to 300, depending on how many have signed up that week. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a special deal on backpacks?
Well, we get the backpacks. So yes, we not only give them away, but we also sell them for families that are not low income and want to get a deal on a backpack. We get them really, really inexpensively through our suppliers. So it costs us $15 to do a fully loaded backpack, lunch pail, and all the supplies inside. Does that answer your question? Okay. I am always looking for more. Yeah, no, we do the backpacks we can get for about $5 to $6 a backpack. And then the supplies.
Youth group
Ah,
that comes from Toronto, but they have a lodge up north. And
okay.
one of the things might be nice is to have a backpack that we can give them.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
even
need
just,
food in it,
no,
but
and if it's just the backpack, you can get them for anywhere between $5 and $8, depending on the quality per backpack. And you can even do, we work with a couple of companies that can do like supplies inside, say they need toothbrushes, toothpaste, whatever for what they're doing or their activity, you can get it really
and they may
inexpensively.
get you some kids to work as volunteers.
Oh, always.
As a-
We will take them all.
As a trend, yeah. There you go.
Perfect. Yeah.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for bringing us this wonderful story.
Thank you.
In terms of, you said you're looking for a location.
Mhm.
Have you thought about trying to get into the Dufferin Road Park, the new building there?
It's too far.
Oh, I think you said Dufferin and,
Eglinton.
oh, okay. All right.
We're trying to, it's been really hard. We may have to expand our search. We've been trying to stay within a 10-minute walk of Eglinton and Dufferin because all the seniors walked
Right.
to the center, and we have several on scooters and with walkers.
Second question is,
Mhm.
are you an official partner of the TSB?
No, we're in the process. We're in the process of being on their official list. I've kind of dropped the ball on that a couple of times because I've been doing other things with it, but we get a lot of schools that call us, guidance counselors. We have 16 schools in our area that all advertise the volunteering opportunity through their guidance offices. We also have a lot of schools that call us and need supplies.
Do you supply them with any resources or anything?
When we can, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever we do the backpacks, we kind of pre-allot a certain amount that we can do, and any that don't get used direct to clients, we drop off at the schools. We also have, I just got an email yesterday about a school that wanted deodorant for their grade 8 students. So we will get some of our volunteers to, yeah, right? They're at that age. So we will get some of our volunteers to help donate deodorant to be able to drop off at the school, because the guidance counselors and teachers are doing what they can with very little resources.
Thank you.
No problem.
This has to be a full-time job.
Well, the end of June, I stopped being paid. Stop being paid. I've only been paid for 14 months. Then I become a volunteer and I keep doing it. Well, I don't. I do it with great difficulty and a lot of pinching pennies, but I won't take salary from donations. I can't. When they're, I've been paid for the last 14 months through a federal grant. And we've applied for a new one that we're hoping will start for July 1st. If we get that, then I'll be paid for 3 years. If we don't get it, I am back to being a volunteer. 800,000. I'm hoping pretty good. We did a lot of work on this grant. We spent over a month working on this grant application, and it's pretty spot on. So I'm hopeful, but I think they're waiting to see our paperwork from the end of our current grant, which is due the end of July, before they decide if they're going to give us 800,000 versus the 100,000 we're working on right now. I'm assuming, because it's both through the federal government, through the social and I can never remember the name of the department. Social and Community Services or something.
Community and Social Services.
That one.
I have a disabled daughter on some of this stuff.
Any other questions? Cool.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
You're coming up again. Thank you, God. We have, so Paige and I spoke as well, and so I know you've dealt with a lot of different clubs, and the Children's Club and I have spoken, and you and I spoke after that, and so we've had a lot of communication between all this. And I don't know if Paige told that our club is part of the Rotary Connect group, and the power of many really. So we're now, there's about 7 or 8 clubs. Paige is one of them. Leaside, Scarborough, East York, Toronto East Rotary Club. There's about 5 or 6 clubs that are in depth doing things together to build the branding of Rotary within the communities. So we get that about how the networking is so important. To build the brand of Rotary, because we know it's tough to build the brand out there. So you're good.
I'm trying to do it on the pad and it won't let me.
This is his iPad, not mine.
We need to work on your technology.
Yes, I'm trying to teach him. Okay, so I'm gonna have Chad come up and thank you.
How do I I just wanted to log out.
I haven't done that, and then should be a logout somewhere here.
Maybe here.
Should be at the bottom of it anywhere.
Oh, that's in the way. That's why I can't see it. Just accept. Yeah.
There it is, center.
Perfect. I just don't want anybody messing with all my posters that are
in
there. Oh, and the one thing, sorry, that I forgot to mention is we have just been brought on as the primary organizer for the Women's Strike March happening on June 24th. It is to promote women's reproductive rights and an end to gender-based violence. When we first got brought on, it was going to be just Toronto and Edmonton doing it. We are now in 30 cities across the country, as well as cities in Europe and Australia that will all be striking on June 24th.
What's the name of that?
It's the Women's Strike March. So it started as support for the American women who are dealing with the overturn of Roe versus Wade. And then it has since spread to be about reproductive rights and ending gender-based violence across the world. So
can you send us
really
more information about that, because that sounds very important to support.
Yeah, I can send information over to Chad or David for you guys for sure.
Yes, the 24th of June, you said.
24th of June, we're meeting Nathan Phillips Square at noon. But there are also a number of ways to participate if you can't go to the physical event. We're encouraging women to not work that day, not shop that day, no online shopping, no physical shopping, no buying, to really show the world how much power we have and how much influence we should be having over our own bodies and our own rights.
Inspired a little bit from the Icelandic woman that went on strike. Yes, yeah. the whole island. So I will see you there.
All right, amazing. Sorry, I just had to throw that in because it wasn't in my presentation.
Yeah, no, Sarah, wow, that was quite the presentation, and thank you so much for doing it. I can't believe the wide ranging stuff you're doing. Like you sort of like a Rotary Club all by yourself. Like it's quite something, and only since COVID, that's not very long. So thanks for sharing all that. Like I can see why you're having so much success with other Rotary clubs. Not only are like, I mean, I can see Covenant, like a lot of the similar stuff you're working on, as many probably are, including ourselves, but also, you know, providing us advice and support and working together. That's a great offer and something we should really think a lot about. So this is a small token of our appreciation.
Oh,
but
thank you.
Hopefully we'll be working together more in the future.
That would be great.
Yes, we made a donation on behalf of you to Trails, that Tom's talking about.
Oh,
It's a youth
thank
organization for inner
you.
city kids.
That's
So,
great.
Yeah, so he can probably tell you all about it.
Oh, well, we'll have to talk.
Yes. And you've met Lionel, right? He's our
Yes.
unificational. Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you, Sarah. You can hang out and hear about all the stuff we're working on if you want, or you can leave. It's up to you. Okay. I've got some announcements coming up very quickly. So I finally, as membership chair, I've actually got the fireside chats up and running. We have them happening next week on Tuesday, the 11th and the 13th, the Thursday, the 13th. We have it split between about 7 people at each one. So all the new members, if you have not been to a fireside chat, and Bill, I'm not sure, have you been to a fireside chat before? So you and I should talk afterwards. But if you haven't been approached by me via email, you've never been to a fireside chat? Really?
You wonder why I feel paranoid.
Okay, let me talk to both of you guys afterwards, and we'll try and fit you into one of the 2 nights.
We started at the same time. Neither of us got to be the recipients. I went.
I know you've been in my house before because
Yeah, but
you've been
I
as a
was there
member.
As a member, but I didn't get to a fireside.
I
chat.
didn't have one either. Tom and I didn't have
There's a
one.
whole generation of folks.
There's about 5 or 6 of us that they didn't happen during that period. It was after Tim and was during Lois. That's when they happened. Anyway, so we are having fireside chats next week. If you haven't been to one, you want to come to one. I think it's past your time, Lisa. I don't think you need to come.
My only question is, can we bring marshmallows?
No. If it's really nice outside, we'll be sitting outside my backyard around a fire pit. So if you want to, you can, but it's a propane fire tank. So I'm not sure you want to be putting marshmallows on top of that. But yeah, so it'll be outside, it'll be at my dining room table. And we've had really successful fireside chats. It's been a lot of fun. I know that people who have participated have found it very informative. So it's a great time for you to have all those pent up questions that you have about Rotary. I know that Anna has been, as her mentor, has been all over me about this Rotary grant, and she's been resourcing out to everyone in the club who's been a part of our global grant. But there's lots of questions that probably need to be asked and answered at this time. So this is your opportunity to do that. And if we don't have an answer, we will find out for you. So I encourage everyone who, I know some people are going to be away. I know, Anna, you're not going to, but you've learned a lot in the last little while, but you're going to be away. Anyway, but yeah, that's going to happen next week. And then
one quick comment, sorry. You need to invite Ron Denham to the fireside chat because I think he joined Rotary before there was fire.
He's too busy to come to a fireside chat. We also have June 12th. That's next Wednesday. So normally this would be a Zoom meeting next Wednesday. It is our Trails visit. So I think we have 10 people signed up, maybe more. Is it 15? So have people signed? So I've got 10 registrations online. So there's 5 people that have said they're probably coming to Tom. And are you planning on either write us a check or bring cash with you, and we'll make sure it gets into the hands because we get charged for lunch and such for that. So if you are joining us, make sure Tom's aware of it because I don't have record of it, because if you're not registering online, I won't know about you. But if you are planning on going and you need a ride, Tom is your man. You can reach out to him. And so we know how many numbers to expect, because we need to let them know prior that the number of people so they have enough food for everybody. So that is next week. So there is no meeting at all unless you're going up to Trails. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hard to understand with the mask on.
Are you good, Jim?
Oh, for sure.
Oh. I don't think he's talking to me. He's going to put it. Okay. And then on the following week, on the 19th, we have our year-end meeting. So it's going to be a recap from all the committees on their activities this past year. So I encourage you to be at that if you can. And then I sent everybody out an email yesterday on behalf of Don and the community service group. They're looking for volunteers for the Toronto East Rotary Club's Blues Fest. There's multiple clubs that are taking part in that. It's just bringing awareness of Rotary to the community. If you can volunteer, I know there's some of us that are going out. I think, Craig, are you going out in the morning with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going out to help set up the event with Don and Craig. And then they're looking for volunteers throughout the day. It's from noon till 9 p.m. There's bands playing. It's a lot of fun if you're out there and you get to meet other people. And if you love blues and jazz, it's a great place to enjoy that music. So that's what I have for everybody. And then last but not least, I'm currently working on the flyer for our September 17th golf tournament. That's also a combined Rotary event. There is now 4 clubs. The Toronto club is now joining us, so it should be a very successful event. So look for that flyer and registration. So we're looking for, we said 7 foursomes? 7 to 10. 7 to 10 foursomes. So all these people that have already said you're going to start playing, and I think Tom already mentioned this last Zoom meeting, that we don't want our group joining up to create a foursome. We want you each to create a foursome because we need to create at least 7 to 10 foursomes. And all the money we raise comes back to the club to use for all of our initiatives where we could help Toronto Cares. And any donations or any sponsorships come directly back to us. There's no splitting between the clubs. So anyone we bring between golfers, sponsorships, donations, anything of that sort, all that money comes back to the club to be used for our initiatives that we're doing as a club. So again, if you can think about participating in that, please let us know. But look for the flyer. I'm working on that because I just finished up the other flyer. So I'm using Canva to do that. And so hopefully we'll have that up and running so we can have our numbers pretty much set and done. I'm now going to call upon Marion. She's got some motions to pass that the community service is trying to finish spending off their money for the year before the end of June. And so she's got 2 motions that she wants to bring to the group.
Thanks, David. Can everyone hear me?
Yes. You may just stand over here. Stand up. So we don't.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. On behalf of the Community Service Committee, I've got 2 motions that need to be passed by the membership.
I'm just looking for the other microphone.
So, motion number 1 is for approval that the Community Service Committee donate $5,000 in bingo funds to the Allen Garden Food Bank to help support the organization to feed its growing clientele in the downtown Toronto's east side. Okay.
I'll second it.
Jackie, thank you. All those in favor? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No. it's not.
Please go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay. Okay, I'll try to show. Second motion for the approval that the Community Service Committee donate $5,000 in bingo funds to the Churches on the Hill Food Bank to help support the organization to supply groceries to clientele who don't have enough income to purchase basic food items. Seconder, thanks, Ray. All those in favor? Thank you. The motions are carried.
Thank you.
Marion.
Oh, there's the checks. Look at that.
$5,000 checks.
I knew you were coming. Okay, sorry, none of their microphones are working. This is probably why they gave us this one that isn't working either. Lionel, I'm gonna call upon you to do the youth and vocational. You're gonna have to scream, because this is just gonna cost too much.
That won't work, eh?
It's just way too much feedback.
Okay. Yeah, this is the youth report for today. Last week, our secretary sent out, Laura sent out a motion for the Charles Grad bursary for review by the membership. And this was a motion that was previously approved by the committee and also by the board. And what it is to approve the funding of $6,000 a year for 4 years to support a student who has graduated the Trails 4-year program to pursue a post-secondary education according to the recipient's field of choice and their career goals. The selected student who most closely aligns with Rotary's 4-way test and core values will be this year's recipient of, quote, the Rotary Toronto Eglinton Bursary. So that is it. For those that received the report and the accompanying documentation, I want to ask, are there any questions on that motion? No questions. Very good.
So just to be clear, that's 6,000 a year for 4 years.
$24,000 over a 4-year period, all from bingo funds. If there are no questions on the motions, can I get a seconder for the motion? I'm very surprised that Tom came in as the seconder. Are all in favor of this motion? Are there any opposed? Thank you. This motion is passed. That business out of the way. All right. Yeah, I won't be too long here. Capitalize for Kids. This is an organization that supports youth mental health programs. And we had their reps speak to us on May the 8th, if you can remember, explaining how they support mental health agencies who provide essential services for afflicted youth. We were going to make our presence known at what they call a Bay Street Challenge this year, but I think it's premature to organizing that event. They're holding it on June the 12th. I don't think we have time, okay, to dovetail with this and get the tent erected with the logistics of assigning people, etc. So I think we're going to let that go, but we've decided to secure a commitment with them for next year on the funding they will need for whatever event they're putting up, and something that we can certainly support. The Merit Award Bursary Program is something I've mentioned before, offered to high school students from schools from low-income neighborhoods in the GTA, incentive to continue their post-secondary education. And the Youth Committee is currently looking at 2 alternatives here for getting involved with this program as one, and they've offered these alternatives as choices. For a gift of $5,000, we could adopt a school, which means that we would be on their selection committee for the students in the programs for the awards at the school of choice. That means that we'd have to get volunteers. We'd have to know exactly what the logistics are, what they need for us as far as being effective members of a selection committee. And I'm not sure what it is right now anyway. But I think in this case, we could do that, or we could create 5 $1,000 awards for grade 12 students participating at various schools that have been identified as being eligible by this organization. I think before we make any decision on this, and I think Lars is in agreement with, he's the champion for this program. We're going to have them arranged to speak to us at an upcoming lunch. Maybe in the summertime. I'm not sure if Chad has any openness or not, or basically early in the fall. So more to come on that next year. Anything that we do donate will be part of next year's budget. I think Stephen alluded to this project, but I'll formally suggest Project Give Back's annual end-of-year celebration at Regal Road Public School, planned for Thursday, June the 13th at 2:45, to commemorate the wonderful achievements by the students who are involved in the program and the contributions they've actually made to their community. If you can find it in your schedule, and encourage you to attend. Stephen's testimony and project gives back recent open house. This event also promises to be very worthwhile and inspirational. Diabetes camp, I think this is something that David gave me a heads up on. And here's another opportunity for next year, a new potential youth program, which represents a beacon of hope, offering experience for children with type 1 diabetes. Find safety within a vibrant community, cultivate a strong sense of belonging, blossoming friendships, enhance self-worth, and where youth with diabetes lives are effectively transformed. This is something we intend to get involved as a committee next year as well. So we've got a few things on the horizon going beyond June and into the summer months and certainly into the fall. Of course, the trail site visit mentioned as well in Stouffville on June the 12th, good fellowship, meeting with Stamp Calf and campers, presentation of a check, etc. And possibly many of you have already registered for this event. That is about it for the youth report for today, for this month. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Leonard. Very informative. Is there anything else? Jim, do you have anything from international? I don't know. No.
I don't.
Okay. No. Okay, perfect. Is there anything else that needs to be announced or people want to discuss? So next week, as I said, is trails, so no actual physical meeting. So we look forward to seeing everyone there. So other than that, everybody have a great week. And if we don't see you next week, we'll see you in 2 weeks in person for our year-end meeting. Wow, it's crazy. Anyway, years gone by. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.